Biltmore Estate is a truly enchanting property situated in Asheville, North Carolina. It's the largest privately owned home in the United States, sitting on around 8,000 acres of land. But its charms can't hide the fact that many visitors and staff have experienced something paranormal while walking through its many rooms and gardens. From tales of George W. Vanderbilt's spirit being seen in the library, as shadow figures walking the many hallways, along with the sound of parties that ended decades ago, and a headless ginger cat who roams the gardens. What are the stories of these spirits who decided to stay behind after death? Well, to try and discover the truth behind the Biltmore Estate, I decided to go and visit it and see for myself whether I saw or felt anything unexplainable. And the Biltmore didn't disappoint. As I walked up to the estate, it dominates the landscape with fantastic views to the side of the many woods and mountains. It doesn't feel menacing like some haunted locations, but seems to beckon you inside, like your family. The first thing that hits you, besides the opulence of the property, is how it seems geared towards family and hosting many friends. The first area you'll see in the foyer is a room filled with large plants and a fantastic view of the sky through its skylight. You can imagine relaxing here late at night with a good book and gazing at the black sky illuminated by stars. It's enchanting and hard to believe that for some people this kind of luxury is normal. I then came across the billiard room, a place that George would socialise with family and friends. If I remember rightly, the pool table was designed specifically for this room, and since placement has never been moved. You can imagine the scent of cigar smoke in the air while the fire roars in the background and jokes are shared over a sip of brandy. Further along you will discover the banquet hall, a place where some people have described hearing the noise of people talking and laughing as if a party is still going on. This appears to be backed up by the sound of clinking glasses and music playing gently in the background. I didn't hear anything like this, but to be fair, I came in the afternoon with many people in my tour group. The hand-carved shelves and opulent light fixtures in the ceiling are pure luxury. While the fireplace is absolutely massive, it kind of reminded me of the one from the movie The Haunting with all the stone carvings. This did give me a creepy vibe for some reason. Now, after enjoying a wonderful night's sleep, the family would take breakfast in this room, enjoying a cup of coffee, juice, and something warm to set them up for the day. The room is overseen by many family portraits that watch over you. I'm sure it was a lovely way to start the day, but for me, it was a little severe, especially for first thing in the morning. In the music room, you can just imagine the sound of the ivories being played after dinner as family and guests quietly converse over an evening drink or two. This room really did immerse you in the history of the setting, as nowadays this is a pastime many of us can't appreciate anymore, especially with modern electronic devices occupying our minds so much. Would this be something you feel you'd enjoy in your evenings? The beautiful tapestry gallery is really impressive and leads into one of many rooms said to be haunted by George. The use of art as expression is something that can be seen throughout the house, and again adds to its charm, making you picture the people who once walked these many rooms and corridors long ago. The library was George's favourite place to reside, and he would often retreat to this location when a storm was approaching, something his ghost is also said to do. When the skies darken and the rumble of thunder is heard, this is the place you may want to venture to for a chance to witness George relaxing in one of his chairs while enjoying a book. With the vast array of books displayed on the hand-carved bookcases and the gorgeous ceiling art which was imported for the house, it truly is a wonderful room and easy to understand why George enjoyed this area so much. People have also witnessed two people conversing here, while others claim to have heard the sound of Edith Vanderbilt as she calls for her husband's attention. It's nice to know that in death they have both found each other again and appear to be spending their afterlife together in the home they love so much. George's private quarters at Biltmore were quite masculine to say the least, and if I'm honest, I didn't find it a pleasant room to be inside. I think this is because, to me, it didn't feel very warm or welcoming, but that's just my opinion. There is a room between the two master bedrooms and it's called the Oak Sitting Room. Here the couple would relax together, write letters and converse before heading down to meet guests. This area did feel cosier and you could almost get a sense of the loving relationship that the couple shared together. Now, Edith's room is a total contrast to her husband's, with its warm tones of gold, cream, and I think plum. It was beautiful to see and gave an insight into the mind of the lady of the house. One of class, grace, and dare I say, a cheeky side. It felt like together her and George were very different, but these qualities made them work as a couple. When he became quiet and withdrawn, she had a light within her that brought him out of himself. The Vanderbilts were known for entertaining many guests, and before dinner, visitors to the home had their own living room, a place to enjoy a drink, converse quietly without the hosts listening in. It's a dark room, but holds a lot of charm and warm lighting and a piano that people could play while others sip a drink and relax before the festivities. The guest rooms were quite plain in contrast, obviously, to the hosts' quarters, but even so, they were pretty and with twin beds, writing desks and ensuite facilities. You can bet that every small detail was thought of to make sure that their guests felt welcome. The main staircase is said to be exceptionally haunted, which sadly I couldn't get footage of for safety reasons. People have heard footsteps going up and down the stairs, but there have also been heard on many other staircases, even accompanied by shadow figures at times. Is it a member of the family that is forever walking up and down the steps? Or could it be a member of staff who is still dedicated to their many chores? Here, unexplained strange smells have been detected and cold spots have been felt. As you venture down the stone corridor, which almost seems fitting to be found inside an old English castle, you will finally come to the bowling alley. This beautiful area is quite charming and to me didn't feel sinister in any way. It did make you imagine what it was like all those years ago though, trying to bowl in long gowns and stiff suits. Down in the creepy basement, and let's face it, every large property seems to have one, you'll find a room that has the nickname the Halloween Room due to the murals on the walls depicting witches, black cats and other eerie themes. It's believed to have been left over from a party that occurred on the premises many years ago. Here people have felt like they're being watched by something from the corners of the room, while other people have seen a drunk lady wearing a 1920s flapper-style dress. Did she attend the party the murals are from? Workers in this location have heard whispering voices, screams and approaching footsteps coming from behind them. I mean, what did we expect? It's a creepy basement. Males and females had separate changing rooms at the Biltmore estate for when they wanted to relax and have fun in the pool. But men and women were not allowed to swim together as it was thought indecent at the time. Now the pool area has a long paranormal history, with many people sensing something dark about the place. It was a functioning pool until around the 1950s as a leak was noticed and would have probably taken too much work to get it fixed. Every time the pool was used, it had to be emptied out completely for hygiene reasons, as unlike today with filters and cleaning solutions, back then there was nothing of the kind. A dark, misty figure has been seen walking around the pool area, which others have described as a lady in black. The sounds of laughter and splashing water have also been heard, as if a group of people are still having a great time in this now cold and empty room. There is a dark rumour that the lady in black is a grieving mother whose child drowned in the pool, but there is no documentation to back this up. Strangely though, many people who have visited this area have described a sense of foreboding, a creepy vibe, and the feeling of anxiety and nausea. It really did have a chilling feel about the location, but I also don't think it helps when you consider that it's situated in the basement of the property with no windows, just darkness when the lights are switched off. The Biltmore estate is one of the only properties of the time that provided rooms for their staff where they didn't have to share. That really would be a luxury for many people in this era, and the Vanderbilts were said to be very supportive of those that work for them too, which adds even more charm to the property. The kitchen was quite grand and spacious itself, making it the organised heart of the mansion. What I found really charming was that the workers had their own quite grand dining area, a place to relax and chat amongst themselves away from the prying ears of their employers. Maybe it won't come as a surprise then that in this area, shadow figures believed to be long dead staff have been seen moving around quickly as if busy with their chores. The house is stunning, but when you venture to the gardens, nature's beauty takes over. Many of the paranormal stories emerging out of the Biltmore estate are centred around the house itself, but spirits have also been witnessed in the gardens. The gardens of the property are stunning, boasting a variety of trees, flowers and other shrubbery. This was a place that Edith loved and was known to enjoy her walks around the grounds. Visitors have reported seeing her ghostly form perusing the gardens she loved so much. But one unusual spirit who has been seen many times here is that of a headless ginger cat. Its form can be seen running in and out of the bushes and playing on the grass. No one knows where the cat came from though, as the Vanderbilts had a love for dogs. Their most beloved pet was called Cedric. This St. Bernard was so cherished by the family that the estate even has a statue of him in Antler Hall village, along with a tavern named after him that I visited for a bite to eat, and I can recommend the fish and chips. Maybe the cat belonged to a guest who stayed here, or a member of staff. What do you think? While I never witnessed anything paranormal like shadow figures or footsteps, I did feel a certain heaviness in the pit of my stomach while touring the grounds. At the time, I thought nothing of it until I got to the hotel that night, which was close by. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had attached itself to me. It was really strange, but kind of makes sense too. You see, many guests to the estate have said they felt the same way, even having bad dreams after their visit. Is there something at the Biltmore estate that is trying to communicate with people, trying to tell their story away from the bustling crowds of the property? In the morning, the sensation had passed, but it was a really strong sense of foreboding that night. I would definitely return to the Biltmore estate, but I think next time I'd visit at Christmas, as it's a season that the property seems to really embrace. If you'd like to see a video of the house at Christmas, please let me know in the comments below, and it could be something I plan for the future. I hope you found today's episode enjoyable and that it gave you an insight into what a fantastic property the Biltmore estate really is. For those of you out there that are sensitive to the paranormal like myself, I would say it shouldn't hit you too hard in the feels, as the place did seem to be filled with love, not just from past residents, but the Vanderbilt family of today, who are doing everything they can to keep the memory of their relatives alive in the home they cherished. So, until next time, dissectors, stay safe out there.